guiding the youngsters for tech careers. So that is the topic. What do you think about this topic, Himanshu?
I think it's a very good topic. And good topic is a very vague term, but still, I feel there are a lot of young, talented or young sort of people who are out there ready to start their careers, but do not sort of have the right guidance in a lot of cases, or don't have the right resources, or sometimes don't know what exactly they should be doing or what the employer is looking for, and things like that. So there are a lot of things that happen, and I feel there's also, when we talk about the field of software development, I think it somehow ends up revolving more around the hard skills, or the real coding skills, or how good of a coder they are, and things like that. But when it actually comes to building a career with it, as important as the hard skills are, the soft skills are very important as well. And I feel that is very much sometimes lacking. And as you said, people maybe, and I don't know, I mean, this is probably just my thought, but people in tier 1 cities going to good colleges, there are different aspects that, or different things that happen in the college, all the way from cultural events to career counseling and things like that. And this helps them build some sort of soft skills that they're going to be using in their actual career. But when, as you said, when we talk about tier 2 and tier 3 cities, people are more focused on the skill, on the learning of the particular skill, coding or whatever, but they lack in that soft skill space, which plays a major role, as we'll probably talk about more in detail throughout the podcast. But it plays a major role for these youngsters, right? So that's really what my thought is on this.
Yeah. So, who are the target audience for this podcast? So, guys, the people who are quite passionate about coding, the people who are quite youngsters and who might be in college or might have left, just graduated out of the college, who might be just in their career transition phase, and who want to build a very cream quality of career in software development is the target audience for this podcast. And those would be the people whom you should be sharing this podcast to, as well as those will be the people who will be benefiting out of this podcast. So what are you going to get out of this podcast? One, the pre-career phase. Two, interviews. And three, the career phase. So these are the three sections of this podcast that we'll be focusing on. So let's start off with the first phase, which is the pre-career phase. So Himanshu, as you know, that our education system in India is very theory-driven, irrespective of how much we talk that it is changing and all. It's still not practical-driven. It is still a lot theory-driven compared to all the education that you get abroad. I don't want to name specific countries, but abroad. So in India, how can you build your career in software development is the flow of the podcast. Now, I want your take on that.
Yes. So as we were discussing even during the introduction, that software development is a very vast field. There's a lot of people in India who are attracted towards it. It's a highly booming field as well. There's a lot of great potential there, but yet there are people who aspire a certain level, or they look up to certain people in the field who have started as software developers, and now they are at the highest ranks, or whatever we want to call it. But yet they don't know the path to go towards it. And what ends up happening is, as you said, the education system in India ends up being a little too theory driven. Yes, there are projects, but even we have been through those phases. I'm sure things are changing slowly and steadily, but they haven't just yet. So there are projects for students to sort of apply the theories they're learning and all of that, but we all know how those projects go and everything. So it's very much theory driven, and people miss out on things that they need to be doing, or the activities they need to be doing, or the skills they need to be learning. One very important aspect of it is going beyond software development. There are skills that you need to learn. which what everyone calls them as soft skills, and they are very important in any field because it becomes a very important part of yourself, how you carry yourself in a workplace, how you deal as a professional, how you deal with people, and as a matter of fact, even how you deal with friends and in your personal life. Those soft skills really help. And what my feeling on this is that soft skills are, you can divide into a lot of different aspects of it. We can probably start talking about soft skills from a communication point of view, which ends up being a very critical yet also a very important part of your professional journey, that you need to be communicative, an effective communicator, which will help you at the first stage even crack your interviews and all of that. Communication is going to be very important over there, and then when you actually get into the job, communication is going to be a very critical part of your job. It's not just that you have to go in and you have to write code and get out of there, right? If that was the case, then it'll be very easy for people to go up the ranks. Okay, cool. So, when we talk about soft skills and we talk about we talk about a lot of different things that can be part of your soft skills. A very important part of it is always going to be communication. And when we say communication, it not just means I'm talking to you or I'm able to talk to you, you're able to talk to me, I'm an approachable person, I can talk to my friends. Yes, that is communication, but that is not professional communication. That is not what you need to achieve in your professional careers, in your professional life, right? What you need to achieve is being able to get your thoughts across to the other person. For example, you're explaining something to your team leader or you're explaining a task to your team members. Just being able to explain it is one thing, and making sure that they understand what you're saying is one thing. And that becomes a very important soft skill.
Very true, very true, very true. I have seen a lot of people just talking about, they think that they have great communication. So they keep on talking about some random things and then they don't get to the point. Yeah. So you're absolutely right. I think Rivanshu badhiya bol raha hai. Let's go to the next point.
Yes. So also what ends up being very important and a very important soft skill in your professional career or professional life is being a team player, right? That probably makes and breaks your career growth. You'll obviously be working, but still you want to be on a growth path, and yourself being a team player is going to play a very important role over there. And I feel you've got a lot of good points to add when it comes to being a team player. So I'd love to get some of your thoughts and I'll add on to it.
Yeah. So basically, team players. Whenever we interview people, people always say there are three things that they always will say. One is problem solving attitude. Second is being team player. And third is they will mention some other soft
adaptability.
Adaptability might be one thing. So when I then dig them and ask them what is exactly you mean by team player. So they say that we worked in a project and then academic project. It was like 2-3 people and la 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 la. But what I feel is not the exact definition of team player according to what a work culture requires. I feel the exact definition of team player is, I'll just distinguish between a good team player and a bad team player. Okay, yes. So a good team player is generally more inclined towards making their team's life easy, which actually is creating less dependencies. What is dependency? Dependency is when, say for example, you have been given a task and there are two options. That one, you put in some lorem ipsum text in the placeholder. Second is you just don't put in anything there and then you create a dependency on someone else and then wait for the content writer to come to you and give that text and so on and so forth. So a good team player would be, he will go on ChatGPT, create a text that he wants and just put in there as a placeholder. That way, you have got your work done properly. Even if there is any delay in the team content delivery, that's still fine. You have completed your work. It is a production quality work. So less dependencies. I'll give you another example. Say for example, you are building a website of a company, and you can very easily Google the company's name or their clients' names and logos on Google, find those logos and just put it into your project as if you don't have the data in your hand. But a bad team player will create a dependency. oh, first give me all the logos, then only I'll do this, because project does not ever go into, very Gantt way. There are going to be gaps, there are going to be, hiccups. And a bad team player is the person who will stall the work. A good team player is the person who will not stall the work and will work for the team. So that is one.
moving.
Correct. And I think second thing is being self-learning. Now, how does this distinguishes a bad team player versus a good team player? A bad team player will never ever ever learn, or maybe they will learn by a very less magnitude. And a good team player will always invest their free time into learning something good from internet. Now, what happens is when there is a new project that comes onboarded, or when there is a new challenge that comes onboarded, and a good team player sees that challenge, he'll be able to figure out a way out or solve that problem, that challenge very easily, because he has read it somewhere else. He have consumed some content here and there. But a bad team player, he has been never learning, what a bad team player thinks is, okay, my work is my learning, but that is there. You have to do additional on the top of that. So that is the bad team player, I feel. And generally, a good team player gets into the habit of learning by utilizing their free times. That gives him additional edge, additional acceleration and speed to move faster into their career graph.